is almighty and sublime. We witness that there is no God, no deity, worthy of worship except Allah, one and alone, with no partners with him. And we witness that Muhammad is his servant and his messenger. The prayers and peace be upon him and upon his family and companions and all of them, and what follows of that excellent salutation. Of course, it's not necessary to have title, so to speak, but of course, when we have khutbah, we should at least be focusing on something. And so we were going to focus on some things in the family, especially since we are here about the marriage that you're having, the marriage celebration that you're having. And I asked my wife, we start off like that, huh? Since yesterday we were married 49 years. And I said, now when we got married, 1968, we were at the church, did they have marriage seminars and, you know? She said, no, because there was no need. Because, you know, your family raised you, and you, her family and your family, and a lot of times you go to school together, you live in the same neighborhood, and so, you know, it wasn't need. But now they kind of, now point this out in some of the comments we make. But now we're in some serious situation that we had if we're going to maintain human life. So we have here the family, the true nature of society. It's an institution. It's an organization. The whole society has been built upon the institution we call family. Now, I know I'm in Norfolk, and so staying where I'm staying, I'm in contact with the public Norfolk. Norfolk representing the public. And, you know, Norfolk, we consider it South, so you kind of have a Southern tradition in South. Now, I'm from Washington, D.C., all right, resident there, and we consider that more North. So, I went down this morning to get some coffee and, what I call it, tea, and they said, good morning. Ooh. And then the family, they were over there doing something, and it appeared to be the husband and wife. She said, good morning. And the husband said, and good morning. Whoa. So I'm saying that to say, and then I walked down the hall, and they were walking, you know, down the corridor, and as they were coming to me, they said, and we weren't of the same ethnicity either. And I'm walking down the hall, and before I can get closer, the lady said, good morning. And the one behind her, I guess was her husband, said, good morning. So this is kind of the Southern tradition. Now up north, and my wife recently, she had a reunion of her family. And look, I don't remember how anybody speaking to me. Matter of fact, if I had spoken to somebody as they came to me, they might have gone around the corner and told the security, this man around the corner, is he speaking to everybody as they come in the hall? So it's a Southern tradition. It's a family tradition. I could use that here in the South. And she mentioned to me too that she has some relatives from Atlanta, and when they come visit us, they speak to everybody. All right. So the family, it's an institution, it's an organization, and the whole society has been built upon this institution we call the family. The family is the mother of all other units of society. When the family is divided, the father has no authority, no voice in the house. The mother has no authority, no voice in the house. The children in the family are separated and divided. So the family. Now we recall there's a hadith. We have two sources, of course. We have the Al-Quran and we also have the hadith, where the angel Jibril was shown the world, or I could say shown the society. And we're talking about the four birds on the mountains, education, shown education like it is, the educational system, the government, religion, and social. You could say he's shown them the society. A lot of times we say education, most people probably think about school, government. We think about the management of human beings in society, religion, faith. And we think of social, we think of human relationships. So it was shown the world, the society, as Allah intended. And he responded, Jibril responded, How can anyone go wrong? Then he was shown the world after the influence of Shaitan, the influence of Satan, the influence of the devil. Now, it's interesting in the words, the Arabic words that they use, is showing that the society it stayed intact, but the influence surrounded it. So the influence is blocking your understanding of this phenomena in the society, whether it be the school, whether it be government, whether it be social, etc. And then his response, he responded, how can anybody go right? And I'm saying to you, this mountain, he's speaking more so. That's the kind of time we're living in now. Yes. The public life is all right, is hell. The public scene is wild. Public now is wild. Now, what do we mean by wild? Wild meaning that it doesn't leave you any chance for you to think of an authority to govern your life. So people doing what they want to do because they say they're not responsible to any government. All right? Now, I see you have these in Norfolk, too. I get subject to these speed things, cameras on the side. Now, this is just a side comment. And, you know, this is awful. In D.C., they said that in 2016, last year, the revenue from these cameras increased 91%. And they said one of the reasons is in a predominantly African-American society, in a predominantly African-American neighborhood, they made $21 million. That's what I thought. I said to my wife, wait a minute. And I being a teacher, I keep all my records. I went and looked at my records. I had a ticket from there. And I couldn't recall 600 Kenilworth Avenue. From that one camera, they made, and so what I'm saying is when you look at the when you look at how much most of the residents in that neighborhood, the income they're receiving, high unemployment, etc., they made one camera now, $20 million. So it was on, on the, what do you call it, the Instagram, etc. It was there. And so I said, so then I thought it went. So that's pretty rough. So again, when we say the public scene is wild, public doesn't leave any chance for you to think of an authority to govern your life but yourself. Now again, I'm looking out the audience and I'm seeing, looks like some of us, we were in the Nation of Islam. In the Nation of Islam, here was one of the questions. What is the duty of a civilized person? Answer. To teach the uncivilized, that's his person. What's the duty of a civilized person? And you know, nefs, soul, person. You don't need people, just a person. Such as we have Prophet Muhammad, prayers and peace of Allah be upon him. To teach, the answer was to teach the uncivilized people who are savage, civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of self, the science of everything in life, love, peace, and happiness. All right. Now, we go look up, most of the time when you hear that word savage, you think, a look like that. But when we look up savage, we realize the savage is the result of respecting no authority over your life. Savage is the result of respecting no authority over your life. It also means uncultivated. And then, of course, we have from Pope John Paul, he says, Americans are in a culture of death. So in our culture, the culture, I didn't say Masjid, I didn't say the public. In our culture, we find more pornographic materials, more immoral freaks, more rape, more adultery, more lying, more stealing, more ethnic hatred. Our society breeds enmity between male and female, between children and parents, between nation and nation, as well as between humanity and nature. So Satan's scheme is coming from a book, Satan, the Enemy of Man. This is how it's titled. W.D. Man. Satan, the enemy of man. So in English they call it an appositive. So we have Satan. Now we want to be positive. We want to be very positive who he is. So it says Satan, it says the enemy of man works against the God conscious. That is who he's focused on, the God conscious. You say you're God conscious, then Satan automatically is on scene. So Satan's scheme is to break up the family. It is a scheme that all other schemes can be seen under this one scheme that can reveal all other schemes. Satan's scheme is to break up that which should be together, to divide that which should be united, to separate that which should be together. If Satan doesn't break up the families, then there's authority in the life of the people. I repeat, if Satan does not break up the family, then there is authority among the life of the people. So Allah created those things that belong together, to be together and to be brought together, if they are not together, to stay together, like husband, wife, and family. Imam W.D. Muhammad, one of the books he wrote while he was still among us living, he wrote, and I've read it many times, notes, etc. It's called Life, the Final Battlefield. So that's what really what is the focus there? The focus is everybody, regardless of your age here, if you can understand what we're saying, everybody now, we have to struggle to try to maintain life in the form that the one who created life wants it to be. So all the schemes are trying to get us a different concept and understanding of this we call life. Also, we have in the Quran, one of the first ayahs that was revealed, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. And usually we translate this as read, it sometimes says proclaim, read in the name of Rabb, in the name of your God and evolver, cherisher and sustainer, who created. So what is this saying? Now, this is very profound. It says, apply the meaning of the Creator to the signs that you find, that you see, you hear, you taste, you touch, and you smell. That's existence. Those five that we have there. But what I'm saying is profound about it. It says, read, the eyes don't really see. All they really do is let in the light. And the ears don't really hear. All they do is let in the sound. And they say some of the bones in the ear are some of the smallest bones in the body. So the reading happens in the intellect. So it has to be connected. It has to be connected. Right? Again, we have from the Nation of Islam, you are what you eat. Now they also have a book out, the more academically inclined, called Reader's Digest. So what it's saying, that all the things that you come in contact with your five senses, that then now they have to be connected in the mind, and then you begin to read. Then you begin to understand in the intellect. So this is some 1,438 years ago that we had this. That we're not actually seeing. It's saying when the prophet was told to read, all right, from the one who created what he is going to read, then it is letting us know that all of these five senses is the definition of our existence, how we have to come to read. So reading here, we're not saying read the printed word. That's my point. My point is we're reading with what we hear, we're reading with what we taste, etc., etc. Islam, and whenever it's referred to in the Quran as Al-Islam, is a religion or a way of ordering your life that is in accord with the natural life of people. Simplicity is highlighted throughout our religion. When we understand the simple rules of nature, we see that Islam is not complicated. Islam is to be expressed in community life. And we're going to say a few things. This is from one of the books. This is a statement. Religious expression requires a social context. Religious expression. And when I say religious expression, really what I'm saying is the rituals that we have. The ritual we have in that requires a social context. Again, it says, to be specific, Surah 2, Ayat 177, it says that it is not righteous or righteousness that you turn your faces towards east or west. That represents the ritual. It is not righteousness that you turn your face toward east or west. It says here, but it is righteousness, then it says the first word, to believe. And then it gives concept, of course first, to believe in Allah, the last say the articles of faith, the angels, the book, and the messengers. To spend of your substance out of love for him, and who to start with, for your kin, for orphans, for the wayfarer, for those who ask, to be steadfast in prayer, regular charity, etc., etc. All right then? So again, in this concept, we're saying that religious expression requires a social context. So the rituals are meaningless if you don't know how to apply in life. It's just academic. How do we apply? All right? And so again, we have a ritual. Wudu, washing the hands. Start with the right and the left. All right? The hands, the mouth, the face. There's some background in that. Now, then you might say, well, then why we have the rituals? You have the rituals because they absorb and keep the knowledge. So some may know the knowledge and some may not. But that's the purpose of the ritual. So we've been doing the same ritual for over thousands of years. But we have the knowledge, and some have it, some not. The brother just did. Calling their name. That's a ritual. All right. Putting the forehead on the floor. Prostration. Sajda. A ritual. And in fact, we call it the Masjid. Right? And sometimes we do. We come in the Masjid, we have a different way we behave. We try to be more, how would I say it? In the old days, we said more holy, more righteous, putting on. Then I bump into you at Walmart. Woo! And I bump into you at the gas station. What? Or still students, or I see how you acted in your school. What? Yes. So the ritual is there, but it is the sign behind the ritual. And the reason I said masjid because we conduct ourselves a certain way in the masjid. Then the prophet came with hadith, and he said that the whole earth is Allah's masjid. So what does that mean? That means the same way you're conducting yourself here is the same way you should conduct yourself when you go to Dollar Tree